I have 6 minutes until my oven beeps. Let's see how much we can get done until then, and then I'm gonna have to pick up this video later. Look at my top that I made. It's so cute, right? I'm making a matching sarong for a family vacation. So today we're finally doing that Kalim analysis video. So I want to go over some of his base characteristics first, because we're just, oh yeah, hi, if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Haunted Faye, and I'm constantly haunted by my inability to remember my intro, but today I am haunted by my love for Kalim al Asim, for Kalim from Twisted Wonderland, and how deep he is as a character, and I love him so much, but he's constantly seen as just his base traits, which I'm going to talk about right now. So as a base, like, when I'm talking about base traits, I mean like the most publicly available. Like if you don't know anything about him, you know this just from looking at him. Like he's bubbly, he's bright, he's carefree, but if you look even just a little closer, I mean, Twisted fans will know he isn't. He really isn't. I mean, he tries to come across as it, but he isn't. So the first thing we're going to do, I have actual notes, and I have them in order. So the first thing we're going to do is my random notes section. So my first note is don't talk about Jamil too much. That's a note to me, because I don't want this to be about Jamil and Kalim's relationship, because that it doesn't actually really play too much into Kalim's character. It plays more into Jamil's character because it matters a lot to Jamil, whose entire life is centered around Kalim, but Kalim's entire life is not centered around Jamil in the same way. I also want to bring up he wants to be Jamil so bad, though. He wants to be Jamil so bad because if you were in the fandom since the beginning, you know that before it was confirmed that Kalim was the Sultan, he was thought to be Iago because of the feathers in his hair. Which he still is, I think. I think Kalim is one of the characters who has multiple people he's twisted from. I think he is the Sultan, but I think he is also Iago because he gets his magic. He gets his magic by copying Jamil. Like, he's not strong, but he's copying Jamil so much that through sheer force of will, he summoned magic. And that's crazy. That's crazy. He doesn't have naturally strong magic, so he likely could have gone his entire life without trying magic and just been magicless his entire life. Instead, he, through sheer force of will, parroted Jamil. I can't read my own handwriting. Hold on. Emphasize context, because Jamil is literally the mass-controlled external and internal of the what? Oh, the most controlled. Jamil is the most controlled inside and outside, but so is Kalim, because Kalim keeps all his negativity inside, so he comes across as very carefree and happy and jovial, and he is that person internally, but he also isn't. And we see that coming out in certain moments that I will talk about later. He's incredibly self-conscious. Kalim is. What the fuck? He knows he's dumb. He knows he's dumb. I can't read my notes. Sorry, I keep looking at my oven. Oh, I'm going to talk about his wish later, and that goes into his self-consciousness and thinking that he's dumb and knowing that he's not dumb. He's not dumb. He's just not as smart as the other cast members, because the other cast members are incredibly intelligent. He is very smart. He's just of average intelligence. He's not a genius, is the only thing. He's not a genius. He's not someone who's going to be a straight A student, but he's very smart. He's very, very smart. I also have Twink Iago, which is what I was talking about earlier with him being Iago. But yeah, we're not going to talk about Jamil too much. We're still going to bring him up because they're so intertwined. But I'm going to go have lunch, and then I'll be back. Why did I start this video before I had lunch? I don't know. Okay, I'm coming back for a quick moment because we're going to try a new food together. This is Tyson popcorn chicken. Never had it before, but we're gonna try it. I'm actually really scared. This is pertinent to the video, actually, because Kalim is the same way as me. We're the same. Not really. He got poisoned, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Sorry if that's like the most gross chewing sound ever. They're okay. They're okay. I'd have them for lunch. Which I am. I am having them for lunch. I have 3 left on my plate, so I'm gonna go eat those and maybe make also pizza, because this is like a side dish, I think. I think the popcorn chicken is maybe more of a side dish. If I was gonna have it just this for lunch, I'd probably make a bit more. But it was okay. It was good. Yeah. I don't regret my purchase. Okay, I'm making pizza. So that's gonna take a while, and I'm preheating the oven, so I'm probably gonna have to leave in like 2 seconds or whatever to go do that. Where's number 2? Oh, there we go. Okay. Here's my thing about Kalim. He is not actually a dumb character because of him learning magic from Jamil. Like, we all know, like, not we all know, but I think it's established in canon that magic is just like something that you discover randomly when you're a child, and then you kind of have to train it. Kalim found out that he has magic by imitating Jamil, which is incredibly difficult to do, just to learn from imitation. Because he doesn't know what Jamil is technically, like, he doesn't know the techniques, he doesn't know how it feels to use magic. He's just copying whatever Jamil is doing, and it worked. That's crazy. He's not, oh, that's it. I'll be right back. I'm keeping the camera on, because I'm not going to be on for long. By the way, if y'all are looking for a good pizza brand, lots of matzo. Takes 17 minutes to cook. Really good. Wisconsin cheese. So you know it's legit. It's the only at-home pizza that I can eat. Yeah, because I have ARFID. Maybe I'll do a video talking about my ARFID. I keep talking about my eating disorders, well, yeah, it's an eating disorder. But I just keep talking about it randomly in videos, because it's so prevalent in my life. But anyways, yeah, he's not dumb. He learned from imitating Jamil. I don't know how magic works in that universe, but it seems incredibly impressive that he just learned from watching Jamil. He learned magic from watching Jamil. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Like, from the sounds of it, it's like something you randomly discover, but he purposefully cultivated this talent so that he could parrot Jamil. I love him so much. He's so smart. He's not dumb. Yeah. It is his care and his love and attention that caused him to learn, not his raw power, which I think is a very important distinction, because so many of these characters just have a lot of raw power, but Kalim is one of the characters that has to put a lot of care and attention into his magic, because he doesn't have the raw power. But it's clearly, his effort is doing something, because that's how he discovered he has magic in the first place, is just trying something over and over again and putting care and thought into his actions. And I love him so much. He's my 6th favorite character. If you watched my ranking videos, you would know that. Not videos, it was one video. It was one video where I ranked all my favorites. You should go watch it, because I also did my least favorites, and I trashed on a bunch of bitches. I shouldn't swear. I keep doing that. I have hair on me. Duh. Number 3, he's portrayed as loud and messy, but when we look at actual loud and messy people, he's not really. He's like rivaled by Floyd, where Floyd's shifting interests give him a messy mind, which is shown in his messy room. Floyd, I love him so much. he cannot control his moods, and so his mood swings make it hard for him to keep his room tidy. And that is perfectly valid. That is perfectly valid of him. But yeah, Floyd has a messy mind, so he has a messy room. That's not the same with Kalim, which is why I have rivaled, but he is okay, I'm just gonna skip that for a second. I'm gonna go back to it. He's contrasted by Leona, because Leona genuinely doesn't give a fuck, because Kalim's loud and messy is portrayed as him just being careless and carefree and blah, 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 which is why I say he's rivaled by Floyd, because he still has kind of the same vibe as Floyd, but he's not entirely like Floyd in that he has an entirely messy mind, because he doesn't have an entirely messy mind. But he's contrasted by Leona because Leona genuinely is careless and carefree in a very like, I don't give a fuck, I'm depressed kind of way, which is also valid. I have depression too. I need to clean my bathroom after this, but also I need to bake some shit for my mother-in-law. I need to stop swearing. Anyways, Leona genuinely does not give a fuck. He's not frantic or messy-minded. He has a very controlled mind, but he's given up on his control, unlike Kalim, who craves control. This is going to be a theme in this video. Kalim craves control in his life, and he is a very controlled character. He's very, very controlled, which, not like, it doesn't like present that way, but he's very controlled as a person. Which is why he is related to Idia, which is why he's rivaled by Floyd and related to Idia, because Floyd has a messy mind. Kalim has a messy mind in the way that he has a nervous mind, which makes his mind messy, but it's not in the same way as Floyd, which is why he's rivaled. But he's related to Idia in the fact that anxiety is very, what the fuck? Taxing? I don't know what I wrote here. Okay. Leads to lack of care. Okay, yeah. Anxiety is taxing, and it leads to a very lack of care, and like I can relate because I also have anxiety. Like I have depression and anxiety, and it collides. It collides. And I think Idia and Kalim are the same way. They both have very frantic, panicked mindsets, but they're also like a little depressed. Let's be honest, they're just a little bit. Which frantic minds with anxiety can either lead to something like hyper-controlled, like Azul and Vil. Actually, I only put Azul down here, but Vil is also a very good example of someone with anxiety who has hyper control over everything, and it's why I hate him as a character, because he shows his control towards other people rather than himself. And I can understand it more when it's turned towards yourself, but I don't like it when people lash out at other people just because you're struggling, because like, babe, let's have human empathy. Or having massive amounts of anxiety and self-doubt can lead to a messy mind like Kalim, which is why he's portrayed as more of a louder and messier character, even though he's not. Well, he is loud. He's loud because he's bright and bubbly, but he's not loud in the way that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. He's not messy. He's not. I think if Kalim got his head right, he would be a neat person, actually. I think he would actually, if he was able to channel his anxiety into self-improvement like Vil does, even though Vil does it badly. I want to make that clear. I do not like Vil Schoenheit. But if Kalim and if Idia manage to get their franticness to be towards something productive, then they've shown this, actually. They've shown that they are capable of very good and great things. Like, Idia is a master engineer, and Kalim learned magic and is not, like, he's just an average student, and that's it. And he's a good dorm leader. Anyways, what's number 4? Let's move on. Activities. I love this one. Drums and breakdancing are Kalim's two main activities that we see in Twisted Wonderland, and both of them are often used to display characters who are bold and carefree, but in actuality, they are very precise. You have to, like, they both take immense amounts of control over, whether it's over an object or over your entire body. Like, have you seen breakdancers? Ms. Girl, I could never. They are so talented. And drummers? Like people like to make fun of drummers and be like, oh, it's just banging on things. No, they have to know exactly what sound those things make and what sound and what combination of them to use to make a good sound instead of a bad one. If you don't admire drummers, you're tone deaf. I'm sorry. Drummers are my favorite part of any song. But they take immense amounts of control, but they're used to show people who are carefree because of their associations with, with drumming, it's with rock and roll, because, you know, you get the and it's like, oh, you get your anger out. But Kalim isn't really an angry person. He's a very happy person. So it's being used to show that he's carefree, but it's actually a very controlled instrument, and very high energy. Kalim is a higher energy character overall, but these leave frantic minds tired, which is why I think he gravitates towards them and why I think they're perfect for him, because they take so much control that they give him that outlet that he needs to be able to control his body, control his mind while he's playing the drums, and he doesn't have to worry about outside factors, because while he's dancing or while he's playing the drums, the only thing he can focus on in that moment is what he's doing in that moment, because if he fucks up breakdancing, he could injure himself, or if he does the drums bad, it sounds not good, I don't know, but it's like, it's putting an outlet to his anxiety and giving him a method of control. Yeah. Next is five. His friends. Cater, Lilia, and Silver are all very grounded characters, and they are Kalim's friends. Cater and Lilia are in his club. Silver is his friend. We know that he's friends with some of the other I know he's friends with some of the other second years, but like, these are his besties. This is his girl squad. Cater and Lilia and Silver are all very grounded characters who wouldn't pry into Kalim's secrets. They let him be in control of the narrative. They don't pry, they don't press, because they have secrets too, so they understand that you don't want to share everything all the time. So even though Kalim comes across as someone who's an open book, he's very closed off, actually, because and he purposefully, I don't know if it's purposefully or subconsciously, but he makes these besties who won't look too deeply into anything, you know? Like, he gravitates towards people who just don't want to invade his privacy in that way, because there are certain characters who would be like, well, why are you acting like this? Why are you acting like this? And he's not friends with them. He just isn't. And he's very good at deflecting too. I noticed when I was going through some of the stuff that I was reviewing to make this sheet. I made this also a month ago, so this is all from my memory. I probably should have reviewed things before starting the video, but I didn't. Oops. Cater and Lilia take the role of mentors, and I made a note here. I want to talk about Leona a little bit, but I'm going to talk about Silver first. Silver is in the role of Jamil, but he's like a more true equal, because Jamil and Kalim, their relationship to Kalim is that of true equals. They are the same age, they are in the same school, they are doing similar activities, because Jamil is also a breakdancer. And obviously things come across differently from Jamil's perspective, or even if we just take a step back and look at the entire relationship, it's different from how both of them perceive it, because both of them perceive it very differently. Kalim viewed it as a relationship between true equals. Now he knows that it's not, and he is making steps to change his ways, which is also showing his care and love and attention, which shows he is not a careless character. But Silver is in that similar role of like they are equals, they are the same age. He trusts Silver a lot more, while Cater and Lilia are more of like the older figures, mentors that he can go to for advice. Leona is also one of those figures. And I think I'm actually going to skip ahead to number 7 to talk about this because it factors in. So number 7 was food. Number 7 was food. We all know about Kalim's relationship with food. If you don't, then Kalim has a very bad relationship with food because he's been constantly poisoned in his childhood. And the reason I want to talk about Leona with this is in the in Leona's hometown event, Kalim is one of the characters who participates, and they are at a street fair. He is a little nervous about having the food because he doesn't have Jamil there, because Jamil taste tests, and it's like another method of control. Food can become like dangerous when you control it, so please try not to control food intake for yourself unless you absolutely have to. Do it under like doctor supervision or something. I will preach about this till the day I die. But yeah, Leona is a mentor figure for Kalim and Jamil because he cares very deeply, and he has the perspective of both of them, where he is shunted aside and constantly belittled because of his older brother, but also he is royalty and he does face dangers for being royalty, so he can understand Kalim. So he is such a good character. I wish they had more interactions between them. I think the order they did the overblots in was very good. I do kind of wish that Leona got to be there for Jamil's overblot, because I think it would have been so good. They are such related characters. I'm not going to talk about this in Kalim's video. This is Kalim's video. But now we're going to go to number 6, which probably should have been early in the video. I don't know what I was thinking when I ordered this. But we're going to talk about his sunshine character. Kalim is a kid who grew up very traumatically. I have Sunset Savannah event written right there. I have 2 minutes left on the oven, and then I'm going to have to take another break. But despite his clear anxiety, he smiles. He is constantly smiling. He's sunshine baby. If you see fan interpretations of him, it is usually as like the bubbliest character ever, which does ring true, but he's also very grounded and mature when you actually look at his character in game. Because before I did that, I thought he was careless before I looked more into his actions in game, but it's more of a facade that he puts on, that he is careless. Because, people won't worry about you as much if you're that sunshine character. If you're careless and you're carefree and you're smiling all the time, people don't worry about you. And that's Kalim's exact goal. I have a comparison to Ruggy here. They have similarly devastating backstories, but both of them have an air of nonchalant carelessness that neither of them actually carry. Ruggy is more of someone who does carry that attitude because he has to for survival. He cannot care too deeply about things for his own survival. But Kalim, also for his own survival, because in Kalim's head, if he acts happy and he's friends with everyone, then no one will want to poison him, hopefully. Didn't work in his childhood, but maybe it'll work now. I don't know. But it's also to protect the people he loves, because if the people around him are constantly worrying about him, that's not what he wants. He wants them to be able to live happy lives. He has like 30 siblings. That's my food, but after this break, I'm gonna actually get to talking about Kalim's issues with food. I'm not gonna say that because it's not the end of the video. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. If my voice is wrecked, it's because I ate cheese pizza. Like I said, lots of matzah is very good. Very good, but dairy does fuck with your throat, so. Speaking of food, Kalim al Asim's relationship with food. Um, he hates curry, so he controls its presence. He can't prevent another poisoning, but he tries. Yes, yes, yes. This goes into his controlling nature. Kalim, if you don't know, Jamil, when they were kids, Kalim's been poisoned a lot. Jamil taste tests his food to make sure that it's not poisoned, and one day it is. His curry gets poisoned. Curry is Jamil's favorite food, but Kalim is so terrified by what happened to Jamil, not to himself. He doesn't care that he gets poisoned. He still eats foods that he was previously poisoned with. But curry specifically, because it harms other people. Kalim doesn't care about harm to himself. He cares about harm to other people, and he shows that in his control of the curry in being presented. I don't know why I have a note about coconut juice. Is coconut juice Kalim's favorite food? Or drink? I think so, because otherwise I don't know why I would have written it down. But coconut juice is used in India and Africa to prevent drug overdoses. So I just thought that was interesting. I just thought that was interesting. And I don't remember if it's one of Kalim's favorite food, but I assume so because I wrote it down. Alright. Number 8, his wish, which I alluded to earlier. His wish was that I want everyone to be happy, because if everyone is happy, no one is killing people. Happy people don't kill people. Happy people don't kill people. And yeah, he's very caring. He doesn't use his wish for himself. He uses it to ask for other people to be happy. And this goes into one of the vignettes from the anime. You know how they have those little end caps, like little chibi art scenes? He shows his care there because Jamil is absolutely overworked. He cannot cook another fucking dish. So he's like, you know what, Kalim, I can't do this. I can't do this. I need to go rest. I am tired. I cannot cook one more thing. And Kalim's like, oh, but I promised Ruggy. But he's like, okay. You know what? You go rest. I will cook it. It's gonna be fine. And Ruggy is the one to manipulate Jamil into cooking. Kalim was fully going to cook Ruggy a meal without knowing how to cook. Fully going to do it because he doesn't want to turn Ruggy away, because he knows Ruggy was looking forward to this, because Ruggy guilt-tripped him in saying that he was looking forward to it. But he also doesn't want Jamil to suffer because, well, Kalim is a very oblivious character. He's not dumb, but he is oblivious because he doesn't always catch on to social cues or to, like, body language and stuff. We know this because he relies on Jamil to do that, and he makes note, and he says that. He fully says that. He's like, well, I'm always relying on Jamil to tell me who's good and bad because I can't tell for myself. Which is why I think NRC is so good for him. NRC is so good for him because everyone there is evil, so it's not even a question. Everyone there, if you're bad, you're openly evil because no one cares if you're a bad person there. So it's very easy to tell who the good people are and who the shady people are because they're just very upfront about it, and they're honest and they don't care that you know that they're shady. Which is the best way to be shady, I think. I hate people. I hate Trey Clover because he doesn't do this. He pretends like he's a good guy, but he's actually an asshole, and I hate him. And this is Kalim's video. Yeah. We talked about his wish. Now let's talk about Oasis Maker. Oasis Maker is a very powerful because it literally changes the weather. We know that this is a difficult thing because they note it with Malleus. Malleus changes the weather when he's upset. and everyone's like, oh my god, he changed the weather? That's so crazy. That's what Kalim does with the Oasis Maker, and everyone's like, oh, it's water. But Leona, I think, is the one who makes note of, like, yeah, that's actually really powerful, and that could really help my country that is a desert. You know who else it could help? Kalim's country, which is also a desert. Because, like, they're both extremely hot climates where, because Scalding Sands is a desert. We know this. We know this because we know this. And it's, like, I think it's very telling that his character is someone who has this powerful, helpful thing, and he's willing to use it at any time, because he uses it literally to just make a pool in Scaravia. He made their pool with his magic. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I think it fits his caring nature very well and his controlled nature very well, because he's controlling the weather, which is a notoriously unpredictable thing. He makes it predictable with his magic because he decides when it rains. Well, not like totally, he doesn't have total control, but he can decide to make it rain whenever he wants. So there is no drought, basically, with him around. With him around, it's very unlikely that you'll experience a very long drought, because he'll probably use his unique magic in like 2 seconds to fix the problem. And like, yeah, he disregards his effort so much. I have it written that because it doesn't take him much effort, because it's his unique magic, so it's a lot easier for him to do it than other people would have. It's a lot easier for him to use an Oasis Maker than it would be for any other character to use Oasis Maker. And I think because it doesn't take him effort, he devalues it so much. And I have the same issue of like, oh, it's easy for me, so actually my efforts don't matter, and I should actually, yeah. Because it doesn't take him a lot of magic, and it doesn't take him a lot of effort and time to pour into this spell. He's just like, oh yeah, I can just do this. It's just Oasis Maker. It's just my unique magic. It's not that important. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing fancy like Snake Whisper, because he's obsessed with Jim Heal, but I'm not gonna talk about him. Oh, I wanted to talk about this as well. He lives in a desert. He is the sunshine of NRC, but he is also the cooling rain. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck was that noise I made? He can both be and make an oasis. I read my thing wrong. He is an oasis for his siblings. He's an oasis for other characters. In this school where there's so much competition and rivalry and heated rivalry, and like heated competition between all of the dorms, Kalim is someone who is friends with everyone. He is an oasis. He is calm betwixt the storms. And he's that way on purpose, because he wants to be that person for other people. He wants people to come to him for help or for just a break. He wants to be able to feed his friends He wants Jamil to have an oasis from being a servant. He wants to give people what they want. That's what Kalim wants most in this world, is to make other people happy. He wants to be the oasis in the desert of life. And this all comes down to his role as the eldest and the heir of the Al Asim family. Because if he or the Asim family, it's only Al Asim if I'm saying his full name. I took Christian Muslim theology. And I don't remember a thing about it, but I think that's how it works, so we're gonna go with that. He's the eldest of his family. If he cracks, then if he cracks from his persona of being like, oh, I'm okay, I'm constantly okay, I'm never not fine, then either he dies, because he will get killed. If he lets his guard down, he will die. He will get assassinated. I don't think we think about that too much when we think about his character, but like he could fully get assassinated at any time. That's terrifying. I would have anxiety too. Kalim al Asim has anxiety. I swear to God he does. I'm not making it up. If he either dies or he gets passed over because he's seen as an unfit heir, which I don't think he would be actually, because his parents seem pretty chill, all things considered. But yeah, he could be passed over as heir if he is deemed unfit to rule his family's business. It's not a kingdom, it's his family's business, but he is the heir to the family business. And yeah, if he's deemed unfit, then all of the responsibility, all of the danger, all of the death and the poisonings that have been on him his entire life, suddenly all of that gets placed to his next eldest sibling, which I think it's canonical that most of his siblings are a lot younger than him. Like, he is the oldest by a margin. And suddenly his little siblings will be in danger. And that is what he fears the most. Out of everything, I think that's what he fears the most, is the people he loves and he cares about being in danger. All 30 of his little siblings, the second that he gets passed over for heir, it doesn't matter who the second eldest is. Like, it does matter, but like at that point it's more, at that point you're putting more of an idea in people's heads that they could be, that anyone could become the next heir once the eldest is out of the way. Even though technically that could still happen, but yeah. He's the oldest by a large margin, so there's no competition for him. Because, yeah, I think it's important that he is the eldest by a large margin. I think that is important. If me harping on it a million times hasn't tipped you off to that. But yeah, an oasis isn't just pretty, it's safety. It's safety. When you are in a desert and you find an oasis, you are, like, they say don't drink still water, but you see it in films when an oasis is used, they are lapping up that shit, because it's, finally you have reached this place where you can rest without worry of dehydration, dying of dehydration, because you have fresh water. Usually in an oasis there's fresh water. Yeah, I love Kalim al Asim. I love him. He's such a cutie, but I think his carefree reputation is just that, a reputation. It isn't, oh, that was a pen mark. It's a reputation, but it's not who he is, you know? It's a careful calibration of years of trauma and anxiety colliding to force him into a shell of happiness where he can't express himself like he wants to. And we see the shell crack at times, like when he punches Jamil and they get into a fight. Yeah. I think he's a very interesting character. I really hope I did him justice with this video, because I'll be so honest, I don't remember half of the things that I wrote down in there. I probably had a lot more planned to yap about in this video, but I just didn't write it down because I thought, oh, I'm just gonna film this really quickly. And then I got sick immediately after that, which sucked. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I made sense in this video. I am going to go make anti-inflammatory s'mores. I parasocially love you all. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Or if you're gonna go watch my music videos, then I'll see you there, but I won't talk to you. I'll just be singing at you. Bye!